Hello humanoids, welcome to Halfling Hobbies. I'm Halfling Hannah, and today's episode is a special one. It is both inspired and dedicated to David Uribe. Happy birthday. I baked up a cake just for you, and here's a little Halfling blessing for your birthday. Wherever you go and whatever you do, may the luck of the Halflings follow you. Today we are going to talk about birthdays in different D&D cultures. 5 cultures to be exact. So join me in wishing David a very happy birthday. Here we go. All right, humanoids, I am so excited to talk about birthdays today because birthdays are one of my favorite things ever. I absolutely love them. So I thought it would be really fun to talk about birthday traditions in different D&D cultures. Now, the player's handbook does not tell us anything about birthdays in each one of the races, and neither did my very quick Google search. So if there is a resource out there that you know of that I obviously don't, please put it in the comments down below. So here are 5 different races in D&D and how I think they would celebrate birthdays. Number 1, the Dragonborn. Dragonborn age probably the quickest out of any of the races, about 10 times the rate of a human, so it doesn't really make sense that they would celebrate birthdays. Instead, I think that they might celebrate something called Days of Honor. These are the specific days that the Dragonborn has accomplished something that brings honor to the clan and therefore is celebrated. Dragonborn would only be celebrated if they did something honorable, meaning that some would be celebrated far more than others. And if you don't have any days of honor throughout the calendar year, it may be a source of shame for Dragonborn. Number 2, dwarves. Dwarves live a long time, not quite as long as elves, about 400 years, so it would become a bit tedious to do a birthday every year for a dwarf, I would think. So instead, I think that they might celebrate birthdays once every 10 years. And they would celebrate it, of course, with a huge feast and a celebration. However, in order to get that feast, the dwarf must present something to the elders, a creation of some sort in whatever branch or area that they are becoming a master. Now, the very first time that this is celebrated, the first 10 years, would be a really special moment for a dwarf. This would be the very first item that they are presenting to the elders. But after that, it would be more and more complicated for a dwarf as they're wanting to impress their clan with whatever it is that they are bringing. So they would literally work for 10 years on a masterpiece to present to their clan. If the clan elders accept it, then the drinking begins. I mean, the celebration begins. Number 3 is elves. They live even longer than dwarves, so it would make sense that they would celebrate even less often. I say an elf would celebrate once every 100 years, and this celebration would be a celebration of a lifetime for most other races. If a human gets invited to an elf's 100-year celebration, it's likely that they will not forget it the rest of their lives, and it will be the greatest story that they have to tell. So the elf has 100 years to plan their spectacular celebration, and as elves do, I'm sure they're always trying to outdo their rival. If you get invited to this celebration, you know that you are a great friend of the elf, and if you scorn their invitation, that is something that is not easily forgiven. Number 4, Goliaths and also orcs. I would say that they have a similar warring culture, therefore they might have a similar birthday kind of culture. And that is that they don't celebrate them. If the child survives to their testing, and then if the child survives their testing, which allows them to become a member of the tribe, then they will be celebrated for surviving their testing. Often this will be a large group of younglings that have passed the test and are now warriors of the tribe, and they would be celebrated for that. After that, it's all about winning victories and trophies. The bigger the trophy, the bigger the celebration. And again, if you don't bring in something worthy of celebrating throughout the year, then you might be shamed for that. But not so much about birthdays, more about accomplishments. And then number 5, of course, Halflings. Halflings celebrate way more than once a year. I mean, come on, why would you only celebrate once a year? So of course you're gonna celebrate your birthday with a huge feast and festival, but what about your half birthday? What about your first steps? What about your first words? All of those will be celebrated too in just as big a fashion as your birthdays. On the Halfling's birthday, they must make sure that they take a large slice of cake and a cold draught of ale or apple cider and bring it to a shrine of Yolanda. There they must give it as a gift to Yolanda in order to receive their luck for the next year. Should they forget or be unable to do so, and the Halfling won't be lucky. So join me today in celebrating birthdays, whatever race or culture you may be. And Dave, we here at Halfling Hobbies certainly hope that you have a very happy one. Until next time, my friends, may your game have advantage. Halfling Hannah here, signing out. Big shout out to all of my amazing patrons who actually helped me think through this video and come up with some of the ideas that I put into this video. You guys are fantastic, and I literally could not do this without you. If you would like to join these incredible halflings, then make sure that you head on over to Patreon. Bye! And if you don't have any days of honor throughout a calendar year, that may be a source of shit.